Calling this city council meeting to order. The day is Tuesday, August the 5th, 2025. First of all, let me say on behalf of the Honorable Mayor Don Hardy, who's not with us tonight, he's in Pennsylvania at the Strong Cities Conference, so he won't be with us tonight. We're going to have our prayer by Pastor William Hawkins from St. James Freeway Baptist Church, and we'll remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we just want to say thank you. Thank you, O God, for keeping us all day. Thank you, O God, for your grace and your mercy. Now, God, as we come into this city council meeting, we ask that you bless every city council member, that you bless the mayor in his absence. Cover every citizen of Kinston, Father, as we do your business. In the mighty name of Jesus, keep us in your care, keep us in your way. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Seaforth,
Present.
Councilmember Swenson,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hardy.
Present. Citizen comment. If a citizens must sign in before the start of the meeting if they wish to address the city council. Citizens should state their name and their address before beginning their comments and may speak up a maximum of 3 minutes. Citizens seeking assistance or asking questions will be contacted by a member of the governing body or by appropriate city staff. Madam Clerk, are there any?
Yes, sir. Ms. Rosita Cox.
Hello again, City Council. I'm so sad the mayor is never here to do his job. I'm Rosita Cox. I am the Emmy Award-winning film director behind the Sundance and PBS-supported
Hey, Ms. Cox-
documentary
Ms. Cox,
Basketball
let me-
Heaven. Yes?
Can I interrupt you just a minute?
Why?
You didn't
Do I
give
get my
me, you didn't give me
time
your address.
Okay, I thought that y'all always ask me at the end. Do I get like 20 seconds back on this clock for being interrupted or no? Okay, 620 Gorell. Thanks. I wrote it down this time. Why do I care so much? So last time there was an op-ed in News with 2 O's about this being performative outrage. I'm gonna announce my Emmy every time y'all hear me because my mama's still on drugs, and that means that I could have been Rosita Cox, just recently beaten by police officers just like Cameron Williams. I could have been Rosita Cox on drugs. So I'm Rosita Cox, the Emmy Award-winning filmmaker. And so I'm gonna say it every time, Christy Kelly or whoever. And so if we are to blame Cameron for his wrongdoing, I ask, why is there $15 million in a police budget? And why can't some of that money go to kids programming to keep kids like Cameron off the streets and away from egomaniacs like Andrew Beck? Your city's in pain. Y'all are to blame. I'm gonna be back here every time. I just wanna remind you that policing is a reactive response to crime and violence. It always has been. As I said last time, the only way to address crime and violence is to address it at its root, which is to give people what they need. Kinston is a tier 1 community. Everybody's poor, including my family members. Y'all are giving the cops raises to beat people's booties. It's weird. It's getting strange. If y'all are saying that y'all care about Black people, especially the Black folks up there, I urge you to create a budget next year that reflects your values. The highest thing on the budget is the cop budget. It's $15 million. Last time I was here, I said $6 million. I was being kind. I actually went and looked, and it's $15 million. Oh my goodness! And right below that, under expenditures, because you need a degree to read the budget, they do it like that on purpose. The community fund is only $4,000. Oh my God! Holloway Courts looks crazy. Corla and I was out there the other day, and the only reason it seems that the grass got cut is because she went on live and she got like 4,000 followers. So I guess y'all listen to Facebook rants. And so I'm just here again to say it's ridiculous, your budget, 15 million in raises so that they can beat our children. I don't care what Cameron was charged with. As far as I'm concerned, he wouldn't have been charged with that if y'all had a budget that invested in him. And just like I said, I'm an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker. News, you can say my name next time, baby girl. Bye.
Madam Clerk, are there any others?
Giovanni Jones.
Hey, I'm Giovanni Jones. I live at 1902 Sherwood Drive. I'm a student in the summer program, the Freedom Hill Youth Media Camp. This is my second year in the camp. I actually was able to earn $1,000 from this camp last year under Miss Rosita Cox herself. She helped, like the camp itself has been a major part in my life because it's helped me find my way to going to college. Without her, I wouldn't have even been thinking like this. You feel me? And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to me that y'all deny her funding, but like it's crazy to me that y'all deny her funding, but y'all deny her funding, but it's kids out here that's looking for something like this, and for me to be able to experience it, and y'all deny something like this that other kids should be able to experience as well. I find that really crazy, and it's just like it really just does make me sad because from the stuff I have seen myself, I'm an 18-year-old, and I just know it's too many kids out here that need this for y'all to just not have, for y'all to be denying it. And I really just do believe y'all should switch the way y'all thinking about this and take this in a different direction.
Madam Clerk, are there any others?
Alexis Bell.
Hey, I'm Alexis Bell. I'm at 200 Rollins Road, and I am the impact producer for Freedom Hill Youth Media Camp. Giovanni is in it, Rosita is the director, and we've been doing it for 4 consecutive years now. I just wanted to talk to you all about the impact of a program like this where something is accessible if you all are looking for community programs to invest in, because in the 4 years, we've given over $30,000 to young people to be able to invest in an art that they can now see themselves at least being a part of with the community. This camp goes across class. Nobody that doesn't have a ride is not a barrier to entry. There's not a cost to come in as a barrier to entry. We don't decline people because of how they look, which is often a barrier to entry to a lot of programs that kids can't take advantage of even if you had them. And so Freedom Hill Youth Media Camp pays their students every year. We pay filmmakers from across the country to fly in to talk to our students. Students produce a film at the end of the year. We have a community screening on August 14th. This is a type of program that changes minds, that makes kids excited about learning. We just took them to Philly. It took us $10,000 to take the kids to Philly, and now they're going to be creating films that we're going to see in 2 weeks. And we have Giovanni going to film school next year. He's a film major at Pitt Community College. We have students in the film program at ECU. We have still students in the film program at Queens University. We have students that are shooting their own films off their cell phones as sophomores in high school. And so this is just one of many programs kids could get a ride to over the summer for 3 weeks and be excited about doing it because they're learning with their hands. They're learning by doing. They're learning by seeing people who look like them succeed in roles that they're excited about doing. Folks didn't know where the White House was. We took a stop to DC on our way to Philly. Folks thought it was in Washington, DC. These kids live here in Eastern North Carolina. They're educated in these schools. And of course, if you have access to go to DC, which I did when I was in the 8th grade, you can fly and go there. A lot of kids here don't. There aren't resources for them to do so, and we're asking for that. I think it's very important for people to know DC is less than 5-hour drive away. It's not in Washington State. You don't have to go to the military. You don't have to major in a medical degree. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a dentist. You don't have to be a teacher, because do they get raises? You can, we're starting to divest in our schools. We're starting to divest in arts programs. I haven't been to school in a minute. Do we have dedicated art teachers anymore? We live, we remember, and we consume our world through art. You're gonna watch a movie tonight, you're gonna watch a TV show, you're gonna watch when you go home.
Madam Clerk, are there any others?
Jamir McKnight. Jamir. Okay. Sorry.
Hello, my name is Jamir McKnight. I go by Checky, and I'm a sophomore at Kinston High School with a 4.0 GPA,
What's your address?
1709 Colgate Drive. I am also a student this summer at the filmmaking camp under Emmy Award winner Rashida Cox. Transport a group of children to Princeville every day. Well, not every day, but just about every day. 1 hour to Princeville and back. Because of LCPS rejected this program, which is paying me $1,000 to learn new things. Today I put a lens on a cinema camera. Well, yes. This past weekend, Rashida drove 15 of us to the film festival, Black Star in Philly. I've never seen or experienced anything like it. She paid for it and even paid for our parents to attend the camp if they wanted to come. Seeing Rashida win $25,000 live for her next film inspired me. It inspired me to reach as high as I can, and I know I will be as successful or even more successful. If not, well, we need more programs like this. I wish more Kinston kids could see Philly and Black Star and touch $1,000 camera, or $10,000 camera, like I have in just 2 weeks. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, are there any others?
Tony Kinsey.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Tony Kinsey. I live at 211 Vance Street. Last time I was here, I was doing a bike giveaway, and I asked for some help with these kids during our bike giveaway. I want to thank Scott and Josh from Parks and Recreations for assisting us with the bike giveaway. They actually helped donate a tent for the day that helped us since it was 103 degrees out there that day. I definitely want to thank Chief Goyette. He bought some beautiful bikes for these kids. He had about 7 officers come out. He had an officer, I think her name is Tori, came out. She was there when we started setting up. 4.5 hours later, she was there helping us break down. That's what community looks like. We had some of the officers and some of the firemen that came, because we had firemen come out there, that they're sitting together under the tent, putting together the last bikes that I wasn't able to put together myself. That's what community looks like. Now, again, there has been an outrage lately on social media about the events that have gone on as far as the police department. I can't blame Chief Goyette for something that an officer has done, or the mayor or the council. Because again, same thing with a a student that was choked out in Fayetteville by a teacher. I'm not gonna blame the principal or the school district. So again, I can't blame Chief Goyette for that. However, we do need accountability. We do need to make sure that those incidents won't happen again. As they were saying, we do need funding for these inner city kids that are having trouble. But my issue is, where's the same outrage when the 12-year-old got shot and paralyzed, but nobody said a word about it on social media? Right. Where's the rage and outcry when Desire Gooding got killed at a park with 200 people, but not one person saw a thing? Where's the outrage when Miss Nell Pittman was hit with a baseball bat in broad daylight on the busiest street in Kinston, but not one social media post was said anything about it? Nobody said a word. So selective outcry isn't going to help this community. If you're going to stand in it, then stand in it 10 toes in. Don't just pick different people to point at and say, okay, y'all are the issue. Well, you're the issue too if you're not doing something about it. You're the issue if you're not standing up for those people that can't stand up for themselves. And I can go on with a long list of people that were hurt or injured or maimed in crimes that happened here, but they know who did it. But the so-called snitching rule, they won't say a word about it. So where's the outcry for them? It doesn't make sense. And having selective outcry isn't going to help this community. Now, if I can, please, counsel, I want to hold the last 10 seconds for my cousin who was buried Sunday from being shot in a double murder in Atlanta for no reason. So if we can give a 10 seconds of silence for him, please. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, are there any others?
There's no other, sir.
Adoption of the agenda. If any council member wish to revise the agenda, the motion to add or delete an item will be entertained before the adoption of the agenda. Are there any? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion was made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Consider approval of the minutes of the city council held on July 15, 2025. Madam Clerk, you like to entertain?
No, sir.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
The motion was made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Presentations and recognitions. Recognitions of the KLCPR 10 under All-Star Girls Softball Team. Scott Austin.
If I can have the softball girls come up here behind me. And coaches. And staff. All right, well, thanks for all stars coming here today. Kinston Lenore County Parks and Recreation and the City of Kinston would like to congratulate these girls on the 10 and under Kinston Lenore County Girls All-Star Team. They won the 2025 Dixie Youth State Tournament this year, championships, and they finished as World Series for Dixie Youth runners-up in Louisiana. So give them a big round of applause. This team has brought prestige and recognition for not only Lenore County's softball program that is on the rise and is continuing to grow. And I want to thank the coaches, Jason Bryant, the staff of Thurman Pate and Josh Bass. If they'll stand up, Josh, stand up. So they've been instrumental. And the coach, Bryant, would like to say a few words for this honor.
Thank you, City Council. These girls have done tremendous things representing Kinston and Lenore County, not just Kinston, not just Lenore County, but Kinston, Lenore County Parks and Rec. I'm going to echo something I heard in here earlier. This is what community looks like.
Right.
This is a diverse section of young ladies from 7 different local schools on track for all 3 of our high schools that are going to do great things. And super thankful for everyone that came out to support us leaving, the fundraising efforts that we had by local business members, church groups, and even individuals that helped us. We were able to travel to Louisiana on a charter bus together, stay at the same hotel together, and become one family. So thank you, Scott Thurman. My coaches, Josh Garner, Jeremy Barnett, and Kenley couldn't be here, but if you allow me to, I'd like to mention each girl's name.
Yes.
Because I believe they deserve it individually as well. So we have Veda Graham, Ariana Porter, Avery Bryant, Anaya Porter, Leah Hill, Mackenzie Sumner, Adeline Garner, Alice Lewis, Jessa Adesso, Alina Ransom, and Charlie Sumner. Thank you.
Hey, Scott, have him come up front and we're gonna take a picture. Somebody gonna have to take Scott's place tonight, taking pictures. He might wanna be in it.
Get the taller girls in the back. Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations. Presentation number 2, recognized being named Law Enforcement Agency of the Year for the state of North Carolina by the North Carolina Police Executive Association. Chief Gouet.
Good evening, everybody. I wish I had everybody from the team. We have a little small cold case unit team. They're not able to be here tonight. Major Turner is probably the biggest factor besides our 2 volunteers, so he is here. But I'm going to explain what this award is, what our team does, and really the direction moving forward, what this team's going to be. I took over as captain of investigations in 2017. And I did not want to go to investigations. It was my 3rd time going to that unit. It's a lot of stress being an investigator. Patrol life was a lot better for me and my family. But one of the first things I had to do when I got there was Chief James at the time told me, or requested that we really somehow put together a cold case unit. It took about 8 years, or 7 years. We finally put one together. Very, very proud of what we've able to accomplish in what little bit of time we've had this team. Some of the responsibilities that we have are case review and reassessment of all cases, forensic advancements, what our volunteers, and I'll introduce them here in a minute, even though they're not here, they'll be on the screen. They'll come in on Mondays and Wednesdays. You'll go in their office and they'll be sitting Indian style on the floor, knee deep in a case. And what they'll do with that is update the notes, update the case files, and something I'm proud of is they helped us with the 40-year unsolved murder that we solved about a year ago, and because of them, we were able to have 2 more cases that have been sent off for DNA. One is a 1990s case, and the other is a 2015 case. Now, the thing about DNA is it usually takes about a year to 18 months to get results back. But just very proud of their work. I'm going to introduce those ladies on the TV screen. The first lady at the very top is Amanda Denise. You may recognize her. She used to be a local news anchor here in Eastern North Carolina. She's a journalist, and she also has her own podcast show called Cold and Untold. If you have an Android, I don't know why you would, but if you did, or an Apple device, you can download that. It's free. She's got about 7 to 8 different cases up there, ranging from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. One of them is a Kinston case. The other one is Miss Carmen Harris. She has a tremendous resume. She lives in Washington, North Carolina. She's a registered nurse and is extremely helpful with us and spends at least 2 days a week here. Again, these are volunteers, so very, very proud for their assistance. 2 other people I want to recognize is Sergeant Connor. He's our CSI, our crime scene investigator sergeant. He's also worked criminal investigations. He's been a huge part of this team, and he's also our agency historian. So if you want to know anything about Kinston or the police department, you can ask him. Major Turner, I already sang his praises. Without him, we wouldn't have this team. And some other, let me go back. I wrote some other names down up here. Captain Ard, Sergeant Green, Detective Normale, Detective Herbert, Detective Gomez, Detective Marshburn, Detective Wilson, and Danielle Winter. She's our civilian CSI. Those are the members of our investigative squad, and they also assist with working cold cases. So why do we put this team together? Since 2000, unfortunately, in Kinston, we've had over 105 murders in our little town alone. 14 of those are still unsolved. We used to have about 21, so we've made some tremendous traction. One of the goals that we have next year is to add a full-time cold case investigator. We've actually applied for a grant. I did receive some good news last week where they would pay for 75% for 3 years of that investigator. So we're hoping to hear something next month, and we could put that person in place next summer. So that's going to be good for us. I've already stated we've got 2 cases that have been sent off. Something pretty interesting is Major Turner, myself, and Amanda Denise will be in Charlotte in October presenting at a conference discussing success rate of cold cases and discussing our cold case unit. And we're also currently assisting an agency down in Florida just north of Jacksonville with setting up a volunteer cold case unit. So that's where we are moving forward. I bring all that to your attention because of this initiative, we were recognized as the North Carolina Law Enforcement Agency of the Year by the North Carolina Police Executives Association, which is why I was not here at the last council meeting. So I just wanted to share that with you all and just thank the organization. I write fancy memos, I shake hands and kiss babies. It's the men and women that wear the uniform and the shirt and tie that do all the work. So I'm just thankful for what they do and help make me look good. So that's all I have to say. Do y'all have any questions or anything?
No, Chief, just want to thank you and Major Turner for the great work y'all doing for these cold cases. I know I watch the show on TV, so I know how difficult it could be sometimes to solve these cases. So just want to thank y'all for y'all efforts.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's all I have for now, but I have plenty more. So.
All right. Presentation of recognitions number 3, introduction of Malika Short, if I got that correct, Steve.
We'll get it corrected.
All right, Steve Miller.
Oh, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Henry and Michael approach the podium over there. We are very excited in Public Services to have been selected to host Lead for North Carolina Fellowship through the UNC School of Government. It's a program that they run in coordination with AmeriCorps to allow students that are going through the school the opportunity to work with and learn about local governments. So there's really 2 pieces to it. The fellow is a position that will be with us for 12 months. And Henry's going to talk about some of the programs that she's going to be part of. But Malika has just graduated from UNC Chapel Hill. She has dual degrees in mathematics and statistics. She has 2 bachelor's degrees. In addition to the coursework she's done, she's received certificates for a number of programs and things that she's participated in. She participated in disaster response training. She worked in several projects. One was urban heat island analysis, which had to deal with tree covers in urban areas and the benefits as far as heat in the urban space. She's also worked with 2 programs to encourage other young women in high school, college age to pursue careers in mathematics and statistics. So she's trying to pass the torch off. So we're very excited to have Malika with us, and Henry's going to talk a little bit about things she's going to be doing.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and the rest of the city council. I'm pretty elated to have Malika. And I think she's gonna help out in abundance. And we definitely plan on maximizing her. Some of the projects she's gonna be involved with. Right now, I know you are aware about the high school intern program that we have.
Yes.
Well, that's coming to an end. August the 14th is their last day. So Malika's gonna be tasked with evaluating that program to see how and where and if it needs to be strengthened. Okay? She's gonna be involved in the exit interviews of the student interns. And after that, she's personally going to interview their supervisors, to get their input, on how they felt the program went. Also, we got that Acton Branch flood mitigation project. She's gonna be involved in that. That's a pretty large area, and it's run through properties we don't own. So what we anticipate Malika doing is contacting the stakeholders as far as, trying to attain easements and possibly land acquisition. So she's definitely gonna be involved in that. Also, we got that lead service line inventory that we got, 11 to 12,000 residential accounts, and we're constantly working on that. So once our folks in the field start, or they continue to identify those pipe materials, Malika will be helping us with putting that data in the spreadsheet so it's identified as the state's required. Also, Malika's going to grant training this Friday, right? And what we're looking at doing is possibly applying for another CDBG infrastructure grant. Now, where she would come in on that is, in order to qualify for that, the project has to be in a community, or the project area has to be in a community that's at least 51% low to moderate income. In order to make that determination, you have to go out, knock on doors, and it's a tough thing asking people their incomes and what they're making. So she will be involved in helping getting those income surveys. So we have everything we need to apply for the grant. We just have to choose an area as far as what the project we're looking at. All right? Finally, this final on my list, she'll be still involved in more things. I just can't list all of them. I'm trying to keep it short here. But we got a federal grant, Safe Streets for All, where we have to develop a comprehensive safety plan for the streets to reduce fatalities and serious injuries. Now, with this project, we anticipate her being the lead coordinator and dealing with the consulting engineer and the stakeholders, whether they're private or public, getting them involved, because you have to have a diverse perspective on this project. And it has to be considered while that plan is being developed, because everybody sees things differently. But like I said, I'm confident that she's capable of doing it. And just her second day, and she has shown me some stuff already. So we're just happy to have her aboard, and I want her to come and say a few words about herself, because she could probably do a better job than I can.
All right. Oh gosh, I don't know about that. Thank you guys for introducing me. I think you guys did a good job. Just to kind of reiterate, my name's Malika Shroff. I'm a Tar Heel. I'm from UNC Chapel Hill, math and stat major. But I think that a good way to describe me is that I'm someone who said yes to absolutely everything in college. So I did a lot of very various things, and I really like working on lots of different things. So I'm really excited to work here because I think that I'm going to be exposed to lots of different projects. And yeah, just thanks for having me. I think that's it.
Thank you. All right. Action agenda. Item number 1. Consider adoption of the resolution for annual statement of property taxes collection, FY 24-25. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The North Carolina statute requires the city prepare an annual settlement of property taxes collected in the prior year. The purpose of this settlement is to report to the city council the amount that Lenore County tax collector was charged to collect and the amount that has been collected on each year's taxes with which the tax collector has been charged, as well as the amount remaining uncollected. For 24-25 property tax year, collections reported in the settlement is 98.47%. The prior year settlement reflected a collection rate of 98.71%, showing a 0.24% decrease in collections. Attached is a memorandum from the North County Tax Collector, a report of installments, and the annual settlement for fiscal year 24-25. There is a list of those persons whose taxes for the prior year remain unpaid, and they are available at the Lenore County Tax Office for anyone's review. So you do have a resolution accepting the annual tax settlement of the Lenore County Tax Collector, and we ask that you approve it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anything from the council? If not, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion was made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item number 2, consider adoption of FY 25-26 operating budget amendment. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. In your packet is an operating budget for amendment to the operating budget of the General Fund, the Kinston Community Center Fund, the Water Resources Fund, the Capital Reserve Water Resources Fund, the Wastewater Fund, the Electric Fund, the Electric Capital Reserve Fund, the Environmental Services Fund, the Stormwater Fund, the Public Services Fund, Fleet Maintenance, and Facilities and Property Management Fund. The bulk of this amendment relates to the purchase order rollovers that we present every year at this time for those encumbrances that we still had outstanding that the contracts were not completed in the prior year, and we're authorizing them to be rolled forward so we can continue using those expenditures. Another large item is where we did property and vehicle insurance reallocation. We had one, we did have a percentage increase that our insurance carrier had given us, but once we got the bill, there were some differences, so this is to reallocate those funds for that. And some other miscellaneous, specifically some grant money that we received at the end of the year last year that we were not able to use, so we're putting those back into the budget. But I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anything from the council? All right, entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion was made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This is information only. Declaration of intent to reimburse expenditures for FT 26 capital outlay. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have a reimbursement resolution that was adopted by the council on January 2nd, 1996, where the city manager or the finance director must declare their official intent to reimburse certain expenditures with proceeds of debt to be incurred by the city. In accordance with our annual budget ordinance that was adopted on June 17th, the city anticipates incurring certain expenditures prior to the issuance by the city of tax-exempt obligations in the form of installment purchase contracts and other notes payable in an approximate amount not to exceed $1,805,631, that is attached in Schedule A, plus any associated loan closing cost. So this information is just provided for information only per our requirements. I'm happy to answer any questions on this.
Anything from the council? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 4, consider approval of establishing City Hall overhaul vault project, E9139. Ms. Donna Gus.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This project, the City Hall Overhaul Vault Conversion Project, is to replace the equipment for the emergency generator at City Hall with the estimated amount of $250,000. I'm happy to answer any questions, or Steve Miller may answer questions on the technical issue outside of it.
You got any comments, Steve?
No, sorry, just to make sure, it is, we aren't replacing the whole generator, it's replacing the switch gear that allows the generator to come on automatically if the power goes out. It will also allow it to be used in load management situations to help reduce our wholesale power bill.
All right, anything from the council? All right, entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 5, consider adoption of ordinance to amend Vernon Avenue transmission pole replacement. E9136, Ms. Donna Goodson.
Yes, this is a ordinance to amend the capital project of the Vernon Avenue transmission pole replacement. We're looking at replacing 18 remaining poles, and with an estimated cost of $955,818. I'm happy, or Steve's happy, to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the council? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 6, consider adoption of ordinance to establish electric pod number 1 upgrade project, E9141, Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This project is to fund some much-needed improvements on the original Kinston Point of Delivery, POD number 1, which is the original connection between Kinston and Duke Power. And Booth and Associates have been performing engineering design work to replace many of the components, and the funds that are requested is $690,000. So we're asking to, an ordinance to establish the fund.
Anything from the council? Entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7, consider adoption of ordinance to establish Cunningham SS Transformer Replacement Project, E9140. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a project to cover the cost, $2 million expected cost to replace existing 20 megawatt transformer at the Cunningham substation with a new 30 megawatt transformer.
Anything from the council? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8, consider adoption of ordinance to establish a substation fiber loop project, E9142. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This project is to allocate funds to extend the fiber optic communication lines to 3 additional substations within the city to improve reliable communications, station security, and operations to the substations at a cost of $159,500.
Anything from the council?
I have a question. You are going to extend the fiber communication lines to 3 additional, or 2 remote substations, 3 additional, I got my notes wrong. But anyway, what I'm interested in, that the substations that don't have the fiber optic communication lines, and they have limited bandwidth for data, will they be replaced? When would they be replaced? Steve?
The bandwidth right now for them will not be needed anymore.
Okay.
Because it's handled by cellular and radio communications. So the fiber will increase the speed of the communications through the fiber lines, so that cell and radio system can be removed.
Okay.
So is what will happen. The work will actually, if approved, the work should happen within the next 12 months, and will be done by next summer.
Okay, thanks.
Anything further from the council? Entertain a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item number 9, consider adoption of ordinance to establish peak load reduction improvement project, E9-138. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This is a peak load reduction improvements project. The city desires to proceed with improvements in connections at existing commercial, industrial customer generators that are in the load management program with Duke Energy, I think I'm doing this right, and NCEMPA, and to allow backfeeding in Phase 1 and install a new city-owned generation facility on the city's distribution system to achieve full benefits from peak shaving allocations from the NCEMBA, which is Phase 2. And the total estimated cost of the project is $3 million, which will be covered with a transfer from the Electric Capital Reserve Fund.
Anything from the council? Entertain a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Action item number 10, consider approval of purchase of 10 vehicles. Chief, go ahead.
I'll be brief, but I'm a visual learner, so I just assume everybody else is. So I've got a few slides to go through. Originally, we had requested 14 vehicles. The city manager recommended 10, and thankfully, the city council agreed to those 10 vehicles. Here's some of the vehicles listed that we're going to be replacing. They're all either totaled out or have mechanical issues and they're unoperable. These vehicles have 170,000 miles, 160,000, 154,000 miles. And if it was my personal car, I wouldn't mind driving a car that has 300,000 miles. But when we're talking about putting officers in vehicles, it's important that we provide the best equipment for them, for their safety as well as our citizens. So it's important that we switch out our cars every 7 years or so. What we're requesting is to purchase 8 more units. These are going to be Ford Explorers, V6. They will be the classic black and white that you see every day driving throughout our city. From Deacon Jones Ford of Clinton for just over $43,000. 1 Ford Explorer to be unmarked. They'll go to our investigations division. That'll also be from Deacon Jones of Clinton, and 1 unmarked Ford F-150 truck from Sanders Ford. These are all within the state contract, and the total purchase price for those vehicles is just under $435,000. We also need to place cages in these vehicles, as well as sirens, blue lights, and other equipment. We utilized 3 different bids. The one that we would like to go with is a company here in Kinston, Noose Vehicle Maintenance. They're on 11 North, it's actually just outside the city limits. We do a lot of work with them. Garrett's, I think it's called Garrett's is the name of the company. They were actually the lowest price and the quickest turnaround time. The total price for those 10 vehicles is going to be just under $145,000, and the total amount is actually a little bit less than what we had requested to purchase. I think it's $2,000 less overall. So we're just asking them to move forward, make those purchases as soon as next week. I'll be happy to answer any questions the council may have.
Chief, question, can you go back to your list of vehicles that you're replacing?
Mileage.
Sure. Yes, sir.
I was looking at the years of most of those vehicles. In a perfect world, in a perfect city and time, what are other departments doing as far as replacement? Are we not behind the curve or the 8 ball when we're replacing vehicles because of our budget constraints? Do we not try to make use of our tax dollars to the best of our abilities? And sometimes we keep cars a little bit longer than we should replace compared to other cities or municipalities?
I think the constraints financially over the last 10, 20 years have been about the same from other departments around us. I don't think we're any different. I think that we've done a very good job really recently in the last couple of years of improving our fleet. I think that the city council and the city manager understand the importance of providing safe tools and equipment for our officers to provide safety to our citizens. With these new vehicles that we're going to get, every officer is going to have a car really under 100,000 miles, which is great for us, historically speaking, and I'm very, very thankful for the council to that. But I'd say it really depends on financial status of different cities. You know, you have wealthier cities compared to other cities. This highway patrol is usually like around a 4 to 5 year turn. In a perfect world, every 5 years, if we could recycle those cars, that would be great. Sometimes we do have to go, if you can look at the years of those vehicles, we do have to go a little bit longer than others, but we're just trying to save the leverage of those vehicles and stretch those tax dollars as far as we can. So I hope I answered your question.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I have a comment also, as you were talking about the age. Now, the 10 and 12-year-old, there were 2 cars, but they were totaled out, so that means that you can't use them any longer.
Correct. Those have been totaled out. The damage was more than the worth of the vehicle, so there's no sense in repairing that vehicle. We wait till a date like this. We wait a year or 2 years, and then we ask to replace that vehicle.
Right. And then I'm looking at the 16, 17, 18, and 21-year-olds. They all have mechanical issues also, so would that be a safety hazard?
It would be a tremendous safety situation for not only our officers, but our citizens. It would be tragic for, you know, a tire to go flying or an axle or whatnot. So it's just important to get rid of these vehicles and replace them with newer vehicles.
Right. Thank
Chief,
you.
Chief, another question. How much run time do we have on our cars? Those cars are pretty much on the go 24/7, but could you answer that or explain that a little bit?
I could have when I first started. We used to have this little thing called hour meters on our cars we had to check every day. We no longer put those in our vehicles. Back in those 25 years ago, we used to double up on cars, and you would drive those cars to death near about, so you had to keep up with those hours. But I would say in a 12-hour day, that officer's on that vehicle, 10 hours it's operating, it's running. So and that officer works anywhere from 14 to 18 days a month. It has a lot of time on it.
Also, tagging on to what Rodney said, Councilman Swenson said, I also noticed that you have an idle engine feature which is the safety feature, I feel. So would that be similar to what you were saying, if the car is idling, it would use less gas?
That's the goal in mind, yes, ma'am. It would cut off to reduce the fuel.
And so the new cars.
Turn your mic on.
Excuse me. So the new cars will have that particular feature, right?
Yes, ma'am, that's my
Okay.
understanding.
And so that's one of the many safety features that you've been looking at.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great.
Anything further from the council? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
The motion made and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item number 11, consider approval of replacement and purchase of new body cam horn and car cameras. Chief, go ahead.
This has been an extremely hot topic recently. I would like to say that as soon as the budget was passed last year, when I mean last year, I mean 2024, This is a project that we started working on right away. We currently use Axon 1 and Axon 2 cameras, which are anywhere from 10 to 13 years old. I think mine's Axon 2. You can't even purchase these cameras anymore. Whenever we got the body-worn camera program in 2013, like a lot of different agencies, we jumped on it. We realized the importance of having body-worn cameras, not only to protect ourselves as officers, but our citizens as well. What we did not plan was how to keep up with the storage. And it's been extremely time-consuming and expensive and difficult. Currently, what we utilize, we use servers, we use disks. If we have a case, a felony case or a DWI, we have to put that particular footage on a CD and transport it to the district attorney's office and turn it over to them. It's extremely archaic the way we've been doing it, but as we'll discuss in a few minutes, it's expensive to have a body-worn camera program, but it's even more important. Over the years, we have upgraded from Axon 1s to Axon 2. Again, they quit selling these 3 years ago. Those, when we first started buying cameras, were $1,000, and it's gone up every year. It's just like your iPhone, it increases. As far as our in-car cameras, we don't have a lot of in-car cameras right now. The reason being is they're extremely expensive. They don't last long, or historically, they haven't lasted long. And again, the storage. Storage is a big thing, the way we have to keep it. So over the past year, we tested 3 different body-worn and in-car cameras. We tested Axon, G-Tac, and Motorola. The cheapest, believe it or not, was Axon. It is actually the gold standard camera. At first, it was a little bit higher than what you see right now, which is $629,000, but we've been working with them, and they've lowered the price over the last several months. In order to save money for the taxpayers, what we were trying to do is have a finance that over a 5-year period. Axon is the only one that would do a 0% finance over the 5-year period. The other companies would require outside finance companies. We're talking between 4 and 20% interest. You can do the math, what that would cost our taxpayers. So we're trying to save some money there. Oh, I can't even read that. All right, so what we decided to go with is the Axon. What we would like to purchase is the Axon 4 camera, which is high def, wide angle. We can live stream. What that means is whenever our SWAT team goes on a high-risk search warrant, I can actually view the camera as it's taking place, rather than being, on the front lines in there. But the Axon is, as I said earlier, it is the gold standard. The new camera has trigger advantage. What that means is when an officer were to take his taser or his weapon out of its holster, or if a canine handler were to take his dog out of the police car, it would automatically activate the in-car camera as well as his or her body-worn camera. Those are called trigger warnings. The other 2 body-worn cameras did not offer that, so that was a big thing for us. Also, the in-car camera, body-worn camera, and our report management system, they can all work together rather than having to download cameras on a Sunday, which takes about 12 hours. When we drive into the back parking lot and it hits our Wi-Fi system, it will automatically download and go to the correct location. So it's going to save tremendous time, and it's going to be great for our organization. At this time, we would request to move forward with this purchase, total price being $629,073. However, it would be over a 5-year period at $125,815 at 0% interest. And something else I need to add is after 2 years, Axon will come back to Kinston and will replace all of our cameras and our in-car cameras for free. They are fully warranted. If anything goes wrong, the next day we will get a camera in place of it. So I think it's the best deal for the city. It's the best deal for the police department. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
Anything from the council?
Yes. Chief, all the information that you've given us, I think that's, really great, especially about the body worn and in-car cameras. But I would also like to interject something that I got from your report I thought was very interesting, how efficient these cars will be on gas because of the hybrid engine, the direct injection gasoline engine, and the EcoBoost gas engine. And the new safety features that I wasn't even aware of, the blind spot monitoring and cross-traffic alert, pedestrian detection, and I spoke about the idle engine feature, and then the perimeter alert system, just to name a few. So that was interesting to me because I know with that blind spot monitor I use, and for you all to have these safety features to help keep everyone safe, I think that is really remarkable with the information that you've given us to make our citizens safe, not only our citizens, but everyone, including all of the officers. So I thank you for this information.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief, question. With the cameras now, that we currently have, or the ones that are coming, what's the runtime, and do they operate on batteries, or what's the battery life?
It's a great question. The battery, you hook it up whenever you're finished with your shift, you put it into a docking station, and it automatically downloads and records, as well as charges. We will also offer a charging cord for our officer if he or she has to work off duty and they need their camera to go home. But to answer that question, I want to say the cameras have the batteries are also warranted. They will provide batteries for every camera, and if one were to expire or fail, it'll be replaced free of charge.
Yeah, thank you, Chief, for the presentation tonight. Thank you also for the information you shared about this a few months ago back during our budget planning retreat. I agree, body cameras are one of the most important tools for community safety, so thank you for that. No questions in particular about this particular expense or expenditure. You've covered it tonight and previously in the budget retreat. More so just while we're on the topic, and because there has been a lot of conversation in the community about body-worn cameras and the footage associated with them, I do just want to remind the public, those here, those listening at home, that thanks to our state legislators in Raleigh, body-worn camera footage is no longer public record in North Carolina. As communities across the state in the last, decade or so have increasingly provided their officers body-worn cameras, our state legislators who have a bad record of preempting and interjecting in the business of local government and local community operations decided to pass a law in 2016 that made this body-worn camera footage no longer accessible by the public. In order for a police department, a law enforcement agency, or a member of the public, a community member, or even folks depicted on the camera footage, in order for that footage to be released publicly, it has to get a court order from your superior court judge. So that has complicated things a lot here in our local community here across the state. Because, our officers want those cameras to be used as a tool for safety and accountability. Our community want those cameras to be used for safety and accountability. But because of, again, state legislation by our North Carolina General Assembly, those access to that footage has gotten increasingly difficult over the years. So if you're wondering why, some states immediately release body cam footage after it's been reviewed by a police department or in an incident that has, caused some attention to be paid to it, we can't do the same thing as easily here in North Carolina because of a law passed by our state legislature in 2016.
Thank you, Councilman Suggs, for that information. Anything further for the chief? If not, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item number 12, consider to accept an overtime grant from the North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program. Chief, go ahead.
Thank you. Originally, we had requested some equipment, a vehicle, and some overtime money for this particular grant, but we were denied the equipment and vehicle. So they did agree to $15,000 in overtime spending, as well as $1,500 for North Carolina Governor Highway Safety Program training sessions. So the total grant would be $16,500. Would not start until October 1st of '25, and it would conclude September 30th, 2026. These particular overtime would be for traffic enforcement with the goal of reducing driving while impaired incidents and reducing speed. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Any questions from the council? Chief, we're always glad to know that we're receiving grant money, so
Yes, sir.
just want to congratulate you and your team on getting those grants for us. With that said, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 13, consider special events request for Bike to School Bash. Chief, go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is for Saturday, August 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's located at 100 South Independence Street at the church. They have requested for a small portion of the street to be closed. It's not a not a funding project, but it is open to the public. Law enforcement and EMS will be called if needed as far as the restrooms and the trash facilities. That'll be utilized at the church. The hold harmless agreement has been signed, and the city of Kinston is listed as the insurance certificate holder. This is at Best Cathedral of Fresh Fire Church Ministries. I left that part out.
Anything from the council? Mr. Attorney, you'd like to? Very well. With that said, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Action item number 14, consider special events permit request for Mother Earth Brewery, Ironclad Half Marathon, and 5K.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is an annual event that Mother Earth Brewing and Ironclad puts on. This year's event is going to be Saturday, October 18th. It's going to start at 7 in the morning at Granger Stadium. It's going to be a half marathon and a 5K. They've agreed to hire 42 police officers and sheriff deputies, so they got a lot of money invested as far as that goes. The portable toilets and trash cans, as well as the restroom facilities at the stadium will be utilized. EMS and law enforcement, including myself, will be there on site. The hold harmless agreement has been signed, and the city is listed as the insurance holder for this event. We've never really experienced any issues with this in the past, and it will be throughout the entire city, the half marathon, so just ask for permission to move forward with it.
Anything from the council? Mr. Attorney? With that said, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I've got a few updates for you tonight. We've got a lot of resurfacing going on. The council appropriated over $1 million, and that's all going in this year. We've got Steve Miller from our Public Services Department to give us an overview of our resurfacing project for this year.
Thank you, Ronna, and City Council. Yeah, just real quick, just an update. People in some neighborhoods have already seen the work going on by the contractor that we have that's working on our resurfacing and asphalt projects. We've got over $1.4 million in work that they are working on. They've already completed work in 3 different subdivisions. That includes the Random Woods subdivision, Briar Patch subdivision, and now the Brentwood subdivision was finished last week as far as asphalt work. They will continue working around the city. We've got a map put up, kind of shows these locations. We put this information on our social media page, as well as a list of the street names and blocks, so residents can check and see if their block's included. We've also included this information on our website. We have a road closure map on the website that people can see and see when the work's going on. As the contractor moves around the different neighborhoods, we will be providing notices to those neighborhoods, either by street side notifications or door-to-door door hangers to let people know that they're coming, really to make sure most of these are residential streets. In residential areas, people tend to park on the street, and if they're parked on the street, it's hard to put the asphalt down. So we really try to get the notices out ahead of time so residents can make sure they get their vehicles off the street when the work begins, so we can do it quickly, promptly, and get everything looking better in the neighborhoods. So again, it's 30 street sections around the city we'll be doing. So we will probably be in an area near you, almost anywhere you are. If we don't get you next year, we'll be working on a list for next year's resurfacing, which has been budgeted as well. There's over $600,000 that's been appropriated in the current fiscal year, which will be used next spring. So I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Anything from the council? Hey, Steve, I do, want to mention one thing. I got several phone calls about, 717, I think is Barton, Street. It's going up Heritage towards the plaza. They seem to think there's a sinkhole there, so if we can get somebody to check that out, I'd
Barton?
appreciate it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure will.
Thank you, sir.
And before you sit down, Steve, you did mention where folks can find the street condition survey and also this map on your website, correct?
Right, yeah, the survey, which is our list of priority ranking for streets, is also on our website. If you go to the Public Services page, under other information, you can access the survey, you can access the road closures, you can see all that information there. And again, the daily, weekly updates as the contractor moving around will be on social media. What website is that? KinstonPublicServices.com will take you directly there. If you go to KinstonNC.gov, you can then go to our department page and it'll take you to the same location too.
All right, thank you, Mr.
And you'll have updates on your Kinston Public Services Facebook page as well, correct?
Correct.
So that'd be a good one to follow, so you know if they're getting around your neighborhood.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Mayor Pro Tem, I got a couple more updates for you. Planning Department has been super busy. When it gets hot and it rains, the grass grows. So Ms. Blunt's going to cover that with you, and then she's going to roll right into an update on demolition project that she's got going on.
All right.
The Great Lawn Debate.
Thank you, Ms. Rhonda. City Council, I know that you have been inundated with just calls about grass because we are in this growing season. And so the Planning Department has collaborated with our Public Information Officer, and we came up with like, how can we get this word out to our public? Not make it very complicated, make it very simple. So she has done a wonderful job in creating some animated videos that we can put on Channel 2, we can put on YouTube, we can put on social media. And so it's 3 parts of it. The first is the Great Lawn Debate featuring Lenny the Lawn.
Meet Lenny the Lawn.
Can you hear it? Can we get some more volume?
Oh no, it's a growth spurt.
Aw man, is it time for me to gut my grass again? It's growing out of control.
I think he should just let me grow. No one really cares.
That's not true, Lenny the Lawn. The city has ordinances determining when grass and vegetation have become too high. For example, the city ordinance defines grass or weeds taller than 12 inches on any undeveloped or vacant lot as uncontrolled growth and should be cut. If you have a home or structure on your developed property and the grass or weeds are taller than 6 inches, it is considered uncontrolled growth and needs to be cut. I hope this clears things up for you, Lenny the Lawn. I'd say it's time for a haircut.
Oh man, here it comes.
It is not the city's responsibility to cut grass. All property owners are responsible for maintaining their lawns. Enjoy your summer.
So real quick, simple, straight to the point, animated video just to talk about when we go out and we're looking at a violation. If it's nothing on, if it's a vacant lot, 12 inches, literally, we can go out there with a ruler and measure and say, okay, yeah, you're right, we do need to cut this. But if it's 6 inches with a lot, with a structure on it, that's what we go by. So just wanted to inform the public, those are our ordinances that are already in place.
Ms. Blunt, with that said, the old carriage house, off of Highland Avenue.
What to do when you're...
Highland Avenue. I've been getting a lot of complaints. I don't know who owned that property, but maybe we need to get in touch with them about cutting the grass there. That's the carriage house on,
Oh, Snow Hill. Allen Avenue,
Summit Avenue.
Morningside.
Morningside, Summit. And also, on Washington Street, beside the church there, those apartment buildings, whoever owned them, the grass grown all up to the top of the door at that facility.
So I can say the one on Washington Street, we have sent out a notice of violation.
All right, thank you. And one last thing, on Olive Street, there's a church down there, House of Hope Church. It's called Dynasty something now.
Dynasty Impact.
Yeah, on Olive Street, the trees are hanging all the way and down, almost halfway to your car. I drive there to go to that church, and it straights my car every single time I go down Olive Street. So if we can get somebody to look at that, I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Next, we have a video entitled Neighbor Won't Cut Their Grass. And so this kind of tells you what to do if you see a property needs to be cut.
Neighbor's grass is too high. Have you ever had a neighbor who always lets their grass grow too high during the growing season?
Hello, Bobby. Your grass sure is getting tall.
Yeah, I figured I'd just let it grow. I'm never here anyway. Your grass looks great, by the way. Have a good one.
That Bobby. I know his grass has grown a foot by now. I'm going to call City Hall and file a complaint.
You don't have to call City Hall. Did you know that most cities have ordinances determining the proper length of lawn grass? Section 12-66 in the Code of Ordinances outlines the guidelines for grass height. A vacant lot is an undeveloped lot without a structure. Grass or any vegetation growth cannot exceed 12 inches. A maintained lot is a developed lot with a structure. Grass cannot exceed 6 inches in height. Instead of calling City Hall, you can file a code enforcement complaint form on our website. Once the planning department receives the complaint form, the code enforcement officer will investigate. A notice of violation will be posted or mailed to the property owner. Once received, the property owner has 10 days to correct the violation. If the violation is not corrected within 10 days, the property owner will receive a fine of $50 a day for 10 days, plus the contractor's fees.
Bobby's yard looks so nice now. To file a complaint, visit the city's website at www.kinstoninc.gov. For more information, contact the planning department by emailing planning@kinstoninc.gov or call 252-939-3271.
So we wanted to do this video so that people can understand why when you call, just automatically we don't go out there and just get a contractor to cut your grass. Because once again, we don't have staff to go out and cut grass. We have to contract that service out. So sometimes people will call and maybe they call our code enforcement officer and they can't reach him because he may be out in the field. So we just wanted to let folks know, you don't have to call City Hall. You can, we're not saying that you don't. You can't. You can if you want to, but there's also an alternative way, which is to fill out the form, which is on our city website. And the last video actually steps you how to fill that form out.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to fill out a code enforcement complaint form online. Navigate to the city's website at www.kinstoninc.gov. Scroll down to the Kinston Common Services section and click Code Enforcement Complaint Form. If you already have an account, you can sign in to save your progress. If you do not have an account, you can create an account. You do not need an account to complete the complaint form. Enter the complete address of the complaint property. Next, choose the nature of your complaint from the drop-down menu. Give a detailed description of the problem. Upload a photo that has been taken within 5 days of filing your complaint. A photo is not required, but it does assist the code enforcer. Next, enter your first and last name, your telephone number in case we need to contact you, and your email address. Click the box if you would like to receive an email copy of the form. If you would like to print out your form, click Submit and Print. Otherwise, click Submit. There you are. Your form has been successfully submitted. Wasn't that easy?
And so when the form is filled out, it goes to two places. It goes to the planning director and it goes to the code enforcement officer, so that we make sure that someone sees that form. It is important that we have a complete address. Even if you don't know the address, if you could give us an adjacent address, that will be beneficial, so we'll know that we're going to the right lot. And as far as putting your name, you can submit it anonymously, but if you would like an update, it's kind of important that we have your name so that we'll know who to contact to give them an update. So those are our 3 videos, and we're just gonna keep rotating those in our various platforms so that we can get the information out. Any questions?
Outstanding, outstanding.
All right, and I'm gonna go right into our demolition update. So, the city of Kinston has had a condemnation list for quite a long time. I know when I got here, there were several properties that had been condemned, and some had been demoed, but there were still a lot that was awaiting to be demoed. I just want to remind everybody that condemned means an inspector has deemed the property or the structure as unsafe and unfit for habitation and occupancy. However, every condemned property is not slated to be demoed. So, just like cutting the grass, we try to make contact with our property owners to see if they want to repair the facility in any way before we go in and have to do demolition. So, the planning department has collaborated with the attorney's office to verify the notice to proceed on 17 properties. Out of those 17 properties, we have received approval to proceed to demo with 6 of them. 609 Olive Street, 611 Olive Street, 910/912 Tower Hill Road, 1015 Hicks Street, 1412 Parker Street, and 1510 Parker Street. The attorney's office is still working on researching the ownership of the remaining properties. We did put out a bid. The publication was posted on June 24th. The bid opening was on July 6th. We have received 3 different bid packages, and because of the cost, they were able to do individual or groups. We were able to kind of do a package to get a pretty good selection for our people that submitted the bids. We wanted to go with at least one company that is local. So for our local company, we're going with State Demo, who has 3 of those properties, and then Penham Company, Inc. is out of Durham, and they will have the remaining 3. The total amount of our demo will be $50,291. Wanted to present this to council first. Didn't necessarily have to have an approval because of the dollar amount, but we wanted to at least give you that information before we send a notice to the company to proceed. And we're still working on the rest of them. Any questions?
Ms. Blunt, on those properties that are going to be demoed, are we taking a lien on the deed on the property, or?
Absolutely. Once the homes are complete, staff proposes to place a lien on the property and look into foreclosure. Not necessarily go get it, but we're going to look into foreclosures. But definitely put a lien on so we can get our money back.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Ms. Blunt. Anything else from the council?
things I did want to mention tonight. Thank you so much, Ms. Blunt, for that presentation, and particularly for highlighting the code enforcement process and complaint process. We all hear a lot about it, especially this time of the year, so it's good to have that reiterated for the community, and I'll be sharing those videos out with people because it definitely is another tool to help us with community education. One thing about that, too, I just wanted to mention, it's really important for us, in addition to complaining, submitting the complaint to the official process, as community members, as neighbors. If we see a property on our street that is, usually kept together, but for some reason has gotten overgrown or has gotten too far behind, be neighborly and reach out to your neighbor and ask, is everything all right? Can I help you cut your grass, or do you need a referral for a lawn person, or will you sell the property and get rid of it if you can't take care of it? Like, those are steps that we as community members can take to try to get some of these properties that have been vacant or overgrown or abandoned back in the hands of community members who can utilize them and keep our community looking clean and safe and healthy. So I do encourage us, in addition to, utilizing the code enforcement process, but as just neighbors and community members, we have some tools in our toolbox too that we can utilize to try to make use of some of these neglected properties. The other thing I wanted to mention too, just as an idea, and I'll share this with the council and staff probably a little bit later once I've flushed it out and thought about it, but I was at a city council conference recently, and a council member actually said that and she represents a particular ward in her city, her municipality, she got cameras installed throughout the community because they were having a big issue with illegal dumping in her district. And what they've started doing is, when vehicles come in and bring trash and debris into the neighborhood, they utilize those cameras and they post images of that car, that person dumping on the city's social media page and publicly hold those community members accountable. So I'll figure out how we can utilize that here in Kinston, but sometimes some public accountability and public shaming might help us get some people on the right track. So that was just a very interesting idea I heard a few weeks ago at this conference and wanted to share out because I do think there are some ways that we can start exploring to take an even more aggressive approach to how we enforce our codes and violations and keep our community clean.
Chris, we was at the same conference and we definitely made mention, and when they talked about that, they said you'd be surprised of the people that were dumping in their own community. And that was one of the main things that they was highlighting on the cameras. And they talked about eminent domain, air property. It was a great conference. It was great conversation held there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I told the city attorney I had some questions I wanted to run by him about the eminent domain and air property as well as we discussed.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing, I don't know if Chief or Major Jenkins wanted to highlight this, but historically Kinston hosted National Night Out on the first Tuesday in August. It's either celebrated in August or I think October, but because it's so hot in August, we've pushed ours back to the first Tuesday in October. Major Jenkins is in charge of coordinating that effort and has a planning group together. So if any organizations are interested in participating, definitely go ahead and mark your calendars for that date in October for the first Tuesday for National Night Out as we celebrate that community event, and reach out to Major Jenkins if you have any questions about that. But because I know some communities here in the East are already celebrating tonight, I wanted to go ahead and let everyone know that ours will be in October.
I just wanted to add, it's important, a lot of times people think when we go to the conference, we just be going to, for whatever reason, but those communications that we run across at these conferences really help us, help develop what we do here in the city of Kinston. So I'm glad that information was shared tonight. I was also in that class, and it's important to make those connections as we move forward with our city. Also, I want to thank our staff for all that they do. There is no perfect city, no perfect person. We all make mistakes in life. And with that said, I would like for Chief Goyette and the manager maybe to reach out to some of our community leaders so we can start a dialogue with our community to see how we can continue to move forward as collaboratively to solve some of the issues that we have between our community and our police department. And I think that's important, and that's something that we need to look forward to doing. With that said, anything else from the council? If not, I'm going to entertain a motion to go into closed session. The motion made in second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Attorney, as you were. Request to go into closed session, to North Carolina General Statute 143-118, point 11A, and 3 legal advice and economic development, Jim Collins. We're now in closed session. See the red light? There you go. We're now back in open session. If there's nothing else to claim our attention, I'm request a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
The motion made and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.